Mount Aspiring and Fiordland National Parks in New Zealand's rugged South Island. The spectacular scenery is a magnet for outdoor adventurers, but it can be deadly. And when disaster strikes,
ruptured his knee quite badly.
The local police and search and rescue volunteers
there's a person down there.
are the only lifeline. This time on High Country Rescue, the Wanaka Police and Alpine Cliff Rescue Team race to rescue a fallen climber on Mount Aspiring.
I got an eye below.
And a critically injured mountain biker gets trapped in a difficult location.
We can't strop him out, we can't winch him out.
In the Mount Aspiring National Park, one peak soars high above the others. At over 3,000 metres, Mount Aspiring is a magnet for mountaineers from all over the world. With perfect December climbing conditions, the mountain huts are full. It's early on a Wednesday morning in Wanaka. The Department of Conservation has taken an emergency call and alerted the local police.
Mike speaking.
For Constable Mike Johnston, the news is disturbing.
There's been 2 recreational climbers going up the southwest ridge, and one of them has fallen from the couloir and presumed to the base of the southwest ridge.
The most popular climb on Mount Aspiring is the northwest route. But some climbers tackle the more dangerous southwest ridge, where a simple mistake can be fatal.
I climbed this last season, so I know what the exposure is. It's a place where you can't afford to make any mistakes.
The climber is 21-year-old Singaporean student Ongwu Ong. His climbing partner Richard scrambled to safety and raised the alarm. Leading the rescue team is Alpine specialist Gary Dixon. Gary's experience and mountain knowledge is vital.
The most likely scenario is so he's fallen down the west face. There'll be a spot him maybe in a crevasse or something like that, so we may have to extract him out of a crevasse and up onto the glacier.
Teaming up with Gary is local climber Julian Krusty White and internationally qualified mountain guide and team medic Davey Robinson.
It's quite a big fall, so I'd be expecting the best case would be kind of injured climber at the bottom of the west face, and obviously there's things get worse from there.
Right squad, what do we got? Good thing to just do is make sure you can identify your own packs.
It's critical they don't overlook anything.
You boys got a hammer somewhere?
No alpine rescue of this scale is complete without a highly experienced pilot. Nigel G has flown helicopters all over the world, but it's his 8 years' experience flying alpine search and rescue missions that will be crucial on this operation. Before the crew lift off, Constable Mike Johnston holds a final briefing.
Team leader is Gary on this one, with medical stuff, Davey, and looking after the rest of the safety stuff, Krusty. St John's been put on standby with Dunedin Air Rescue.
If Ongwu is alive, there is every chance he will be seriously injured. So every minute counts on this rescue. The crew take a direct flight path up the Mātukituki Valley towards Mount Aspiring. Nigel pulls the helicopter up to 7,500 feet. And the team get up close and personal with Mount Aspiring's west face. Communication between the pilot and team leader is essential. Having climbed Mount Aspiring with Gary, Nigel trusts his alpine knowledge.
Yeah, the only hazard view night from the ground is those little icy cliffs on the west face. So if you end up having to put us down the bottom, we're just going to be a bit careful going in the bottom there and then stuff coming down on top of you. Nothing obvious, is there, Davey? Let's just fly up to the core and then we'll have just a check. Maybe you got caught up there and then we'll go down and have a better look in those holes down there.
From the summit, Nigel flies sideways down the mountain.
Now, if it's possible, Nigel, see if we can get a blood track or something. Okay. Like that, that'll give us a trajectory. Because if he's falling down, he might leave an ice axe stuck in or some mark on the snow.
Rightio, you check your side and I'll just slip down this way.
Nigel flies meters from the surface, judging the distance by studying the helicopter's shadow on the snow. Even flying this close, finding any sign of Ong Wu is nearly impossible. Until Gary notices something unusual.
I got an ice axe below. Yeah, 2 ice axes, righto. So, just swing around so you can have a look and see the notch. Yeah, right.
Spotting an ice axe on the mountain face is like finding a needle in a haystack.
There's something unusual just coming up on your side. Looks something yellow and maybe a boot or something just coming up on your side now, Gaz.
As a boot.
I'll just go up to it, eh? Get a bit of a closer look.
Nigel gives Gary and Davey a bird's eye view into the holes.
He's in there. Oh yeah, I can see him. He's actually in the hole.
The Wanaka Police and Search and Rescue Team are responding to an emergency on Mount Aspiring. Ong Wu, a 21-year-old climber, has slipped and fallen on the notorious Southwest Ridge. Team leader Gary has just spotted him.
He's in there. Oh yeah, I can see him. He's actually in the hole.
Ong Wu is wedged in a dangerous crevasse.
Okay, that's a definite strop job, I think, Davey. What do you think about dropping into there, Nige?
That looks fine to me. Wanaka Police from Alpha Hotel.
Wanaka Police, go ahead.
We've located the victim and we're getting ready to probably do a stop recovery.
Yeah, copy that. Please keep us informed.
To set up the strop, the crew race back across the glacier. If Ong Wu is alive, they must get to him immediately.
Team's flown here to Baden Cole as a staging area, unloaded all our kit, and then we've kitted up with 2 climbers, 2 members of the rescue team, geared up ready to go onto the Southwest Ridge with first aid equipment.
As the strop is hooked up, Gary reinforces the mission. Carrying a medical kit and special lightweight stretcher bag, Gary gives the okay to go. Pilot Nigel takes the weight. Nigel keeps an eye on his human cargo below and the melting ice cliffs above. The rotor wash from the helicopter blades could dislodge loose ice, which could prove fatal. Gary and Davey must unclip from the safety of the strop to reach Ong Wu.
And Gary, do you want me to fly away from the scene? I'll go back to the control.
Invisible from the air, the two men descend into the dangerous crevasse. Hoping to find Ongwu alive, Team Medic Davey claws his way along the ice face.
Hey, how you doing?
Removing his pack,
How's it, Ang?
Davey checks for a pulse.
How you doing, Ang? No pulse. Looks like quite serious head injury. No sign of life. Check for pulse, no pulse.
We won't need the Otago paramedic helicopter there.
Thanks for the update. I'll stand down the Otago rescue helicopter.
Okay, Ang, I'm going to strop you out now. And yeah, we'll get you on your way home. Okay, Ang, we're on our way. Halfway there.
Yeah, it's always a hard thing when, really till you get to touch the climber, you're never quite sure they're deceased. So during the search, you're hoping you're going to see an arm wavering or a leg moving. He has stopped very, very suddenly, so that would indicate injuries that were incompatible with life, really. And that's certainly what I saw when I got in there. So just basically major multiple trauma. It's paramountaineering. So it's something we've dealt with a lot before, personally and in this capacity. So yeah, it's just something you need to process, and something you talk about, something you don't, and it's just a matter of working through that. And I usually talk to the deceased quite a lot, try and use their first name and stuff. Kind of helps me a little bit.
Meanwhile, Gary shares his thoughts about what might have happened.
Maybe, whacked a tool in and put all his weight just onto one tool, and if he didn't have a backup in or whatever, something like that could have happened. The climber makes a choice, don't they? All their gear look pretty, pretty good stuff, Good boots, good crampons, good harnesses, head helmets. It's just one of those tragic.
In summer, Wanaka's winter snowfields turn into a mountain bike mecca. But the mind-blowing trails are not for the faint-hearted. In a pine forest on the outskirts of Wanaka, a mountain biker needs serious medical attention. It's Sunday evening, and Sergeant Aaron Nicholson is called into work.
I'm just now coordinating the SAR guys and police guys to try and get to the scene, find out exactly where he is, and get ambos there as well. From experience, there can be fairly significant injuries from these mountain bike crashes, and trying to get a patient out of there who's got some serious injuries is a problem. We can't strop him out, we can't winch him out. If we're going to carry him, what are the chances of people carrying him falling and creating further injuries?
The injured biker is Johnny Young, a Wanaka local who has flipped his bike and collided with a large tree.
Mate, you're not allergic to anything? Nice deep breath, slow and easy on that, all right?
I was further behind him, so I didn't actually see the whole thing. Came down, there was bike and stuff everywhere, so yeah, it wasn't very nice.
I don't know if we initially thought it was as bad as it possibly is, and once we figured out that it was, I went down and called 111.
One of the first on the scene is search and rescue team member and paramedic Rod Walker.
Taken a few people out of here, and I've also ridden my bike here. So yeah, well aware of the tracks, and I knew how hard it was to access because there's no way of driving up from the bottom. The track's very badly eroded with water, and there's no way of coming down from the top because it's too steep.
Rod is assisted by Dave, a Wanaka doctor who was riding in the forest when the accident happened. The next to arrive are search and rescue team members Gary Dixon and Phil Melchior.
Haven't had to respond on a mountain bike, actually. So that's the first.
Johnny, I'm going to straighten out your good leg.
It's not working. Whoa. Everybody be quiet, please.
We got some more.
We're just going to have to do this, man.
Yeah, bite on there.
Bite on that, mate.
It's okay.
Okay, so it's all on now, mate.
Johnny needs urgent hospital treatment. The team must find a way to get him out of the forest. In a pine forest in the outskirts of Wanaka, the local police and search and rescue volunteers are treating a seriously injured mountain biker.
How does that feel, mate? We've got a whole 20 kilos of traction released. Your legs must be better by now.
Johnny has ripped a large hole in his thigh and is losing a lot of blood. Rod suspects he has also snapped the largest bone in the body.
You wouldn't want to break your femur, mate. It's not a nice thing to do. And being stuck out in the middle of nowhere without having adequate pain relief is not good.
A broken femur can cause significant internal bleeding.
Good man, David, like the blood pressure would be really good.
He's got a radial pulse at 120.
Right.
So the team work quickly to stabilise Johnny, who is rapidly going into shock.
Just relax your leg, mate. Just relax.
Breathe it in. Nice, big, long breath. Breathe it out. Stay away, spine, right, breathing. Good breathing.
This thingy is not doing... No, no, we're at it.
Have you got another one?
No. Well, down to the truck with you.
You've got some more morphine coming through, mate, all right?
Right, more morphine coming, Johnny.
Just to keep...
With adequate pain relief, Johnny is stable enough to be put on a stretcher.
That, a little bit more. That's better.
Search and rescue team members Phil and Gary must figure out how to transport Johnny to a hospital.
Well, there's two options. There's the stretcher carry down, but you're down really loose, gravelly, steep path. The person's so in your hands, so if everyone falls over, you know. So if you go to that, down steep terrain, you need to go the full hog.
We'll just get him ready so when the helicopter gets here, he can just go straight on it.
Yeah.
The safest way to get Johnny out is by helicopter. So Rod calls the Otago Air Ambulance. But with the weather turning nasty, there is no guarantee the pilot will land nearby.
I'll give you a handheld GPS coordinate shortly.
We'll have to stretch a carry him to the nearest landing site, which is 60, 70 metres that way.
Everybody happy? Happy. Ready for left and left.
The relative danger of carting him down is higher than trying to get the guy to land here.
So are we going to be better to go straight ahead or veer around to the left?
Go around to the left. Just those jumps.
Okay, we'll go this way.
Please.
Anybody getting tired, just hang out, all right?
I want to leave him in the trees with some shelter.
Self-talk down.
You know, if the pilot says he can't land here, then we'll go to plan B. The BK is like a flying hospital. I mean, it's completely equipped. It's a genuine ambulance as opposed to, you know, taking out a seat and sticking in a stretcher. So I imagine that he'll be a hell of a lot more comfortable in the helicopter than he is lying in the forest on a stretcher.
If they can't find us, the pilot's blind.
The Dunedin team want to get Johnny in the air as soon as possible. The storm is nearly on top of them and visibility isn't good. Johnny's dog Cara has wandered into the forest.
Feel good?
She stands vigil by his side. In just 30 minutes, Johnny will touch down on the roof of Dunedin Hospital.
Cheers. Bye. That's just talking to the Dunedin Hospital, just to get an update on Johnny, and apparently he's going to obviously live to tell the story. He's got a fairly significant injury. He didn't break his leg as first thought, but he's managed to put his handlebar right through his thigh, under his femur, and it's come out the other end. So they've had to operate on him, but he will make a full recovery, and which is the good news. And no doubt he'll be back in 6 months jumping his mountain bike again, I would imagine.
Richard Bassett-Smith has returned to Wanaka. He watched his climbing partner, 21-year-old Ongwu Ong, die on Mount Aspiring.
Yeah, just sort of been climbing with him for on and off over the last year and a half. He was after climbing partners and I was interested in getting into mountaineering, so Fratch said to me, let's go for aspiring. I just remember that first bit of snow and just saying, this is perfect. Just a smile on my face. All around you, just other mountains all below, just the sun rising up around. And yeah, just beautiful. I know, I just thought he was going to stop, and then just at the edge got closer and closer and he just wasn't stopping. You could see him go off over the edge. What do I do now?
Richard has returned to the mountain to complete the journey.
I don't have that memory of the mountain. Yeah, I don't remember actually seeing the whole thing as a whole. For me, to be able to walk in and walk out again and sort of complete that return trip.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.